Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Game Central. I'm Sean Woodland. We are officially in the CrossFit Games off season, but there are still plenty of CrossFit licensed events on the schedule, and we want to take you through some of them here on the show. And we will start in Fort Wayne, Indiana with the Masters Fitness Collective CrossFit Championship. It starts on September 2nd and goes through September 5th. You can follow the event on Instagram at Masters Fitness Collective. This event will use 3 different venues this year. On Friday, there will be 2 different pools that will be used at 2 different locations. And then on Saturday, the main competition moves to the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Expo Center. And I was able to catch up with one of the organizers for the event, Eamon Coyne. Eamon, thanks so much for joining me, man. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Sean?
I'm wonderful, thank you. How did your event come about?
So last year, in 2020, with all the craziness that was going on in the world, we decided that we needed to help the masters that had qualified for the games kind of close out their season. So, we had the means to put on a COVID compliant, very safe competition in Indiana, which was a little bit looser with some of the restrictions, and we invited about 110 athletes and pulled up. Well, we invited a lot more than 110 athletes, but 110 athletes showed up and pulled off what I think is a pretty stellar competition. And all the feedback we've gotten in about 3 months time frame in order to kind of start to finish, put that together, come up with the idea, and close it out. So.
Why did you decide that this was going to be more than just a one-time thing?
Initially, after we had ran it the first time, the team that owns Masters Fitness Collective kind of got together and we're like, that was great, well, let's kind of like go back to our roots. And we were going to focus a lot more on the Masters community and providing resources and assets and kind of grouping everybody together and, introducing people and et cetera, et cetera. And then Dave and Eric, we reached out to them and they kind of got back to us. They're like, this sounds like a great idea. Why don't we license this event? And we're like, okay, yeah, if we're going to license this, then that's something where we'd love to go forward with. So it was not like forcing our hand, but it definitely kind of lended itself to it. I think the success of the competition last year was exciting for us as well. Like I mentioned, we only had 3 months to pull it off. And I think we did a pretty good job. So, refining that process over the course of the past 12 months, I think we're going to kind of pull off another banger this year, but we'll see.
As the competition director, I know you are in charge of a lot of things and we are getting closer to the competition. What are sort of the loose ends that you're tying up now as you get closer to go time?
Yeah, so, I have to set up meetings with the athletes. I like to do the athlete brief ahead of time so people know kind of what's going on. I'll get my head judge on, Kat Shear, who runs, she's on Clydesdale Fitness Friends, and she'll kind of go through the judging aspect of that, and then I'll talk about competition flow and everything like that. And I do that with the age groups kind of set up. So that's a major piece that I still have to get together. We still have some sponsorship things coming in, figuring out the time domains of the workouts, because that's still kind of out there. We're playing with a couple of different time domains of the workouts right now, and trying to put the pieces together to make sure that everything kind of flows very nicely. I take a page out of Dave Castro's book in that everything has to look right. It can't just, it has to be a good show along with being a good set of tests.
Why was it important to you to make sure that they had another avenue where they could compete?
That's a good question. I competed at the games this year. I was fortunate enough to qualify and get in on that, and amazing experience, right? I want to, Noble knocked it out of the water with the gear and all that other fun stuff. And the tests were great and everything like that. But, not everybody gets to compete at that level, right? So I look at us as almost like a supplement to the games, with the eventual goal of potentially having somebody come out of our competition that qualifies for that level. We've been in talks with the folks over at Loud and Live, Matt O'Keefe and Dylan. Ever since last year, they've been great sounding boards for us as far as trying to make sure that, the competition's flowing right and everything like that. We're talking about like how to create this relationship between the competitions they run and the competition we run, and like then leading into the CrossFit Games. But this is a great opportunity for people who may not have qualified for the CrossFit Games to come and test themselves against people who did qualify for the CrossFit Games. And it's like, it's just another fun test for everybody to kind of compete in.
And from a competition standpoint, how are you looking to expand as you move forward?
So last year we had about 110 athletes, like I had mentioned. This year we had a bunch of people go through our online qualifier, which was in early June. We had teamed up with a team competition, kind of ran a joint online qualifier with them, with the folks over at the pit. And this year we have 240 athletes qualifying out of our qualifier, and like a couple like direct invites and things like that of people coming through 16 divisions, which is 2 more divisions than most other competitions. We've introduced the 30 to 34 division this year. It gives them an opportunity, and many other sports start at 30 in the Masters. We look at things like USA Triathlon, we look at things like powerlifting, certain weightlifting, things like that, so WF. So we wanted to expand upon that. Next year, we'll be introducing the teams of 2, and we haven't really dialed in the age groups for that yet. We're going to kind of like test that out. In November, we have an online team of 2 competition coming up, and we're going to kind of test what the age should be. We haven't decided if it's like 10-year brackets or if it's combined age.
If people want to find out more about your competition, where can they go for that information?
So most of our information is found on Instagram. We do a lot of communication through Instagram, and that's at Masters Fitness Collective. We have a Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel, which has a lot of the great videos behind the scenes and things like that we did last year. We will be live streaming this year. We've teamed up with Morning Chalk Up again, and they're going to be lending us their platform for us to live stream this year. And then we have a website, mastersfitnesscollective.com.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and best of luck with your competition this year. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean.
Masters Fitness Collective CrossFit Championship again gets started on September 2nd, runs through September 5th in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and you can follow them for all the information and updates on Instagram at Masters Fitness Collective. Thanks so much for joining us today, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland, and we'll talk to you next time.